If you've made a New Year's resolution for the 1st of January, you're probably wasting your time. According to a 2016 study, of the 41% of Americans who made New Year's resolutions, by the end of the year, only 9% feel they are successful in keeping them. And one of the main reasons is that New Year's resolutions are generally based around goals, whereas the way that I'm going to plan my own 2023 is based on systems. So what is the difference? A goal is something you want to achieve in the future, whereas a system is a process that will lead you to achieve your goal. So goals are the destination, whereas systems are about the journey. So if you're looking to make 2023 your best year yet, I'm going to walk you through the 3-step system that I use to plan my own year. And it is a far more powerful approach than just setting a New Year's resolution. The first step is the brainstorming stage, where I go through my 4 pillars of success: health, wealth, people, and happiness. The second stage is when I set my actionable steps. And step 3, the most important part, is where I set my daily habits to make those goals become a reality. Because the unit of life is a day. Define your ideal day, then execute each day to make your ideal life. I've partnered up with Miro for this video. They're an online collaborative whiteboard that enables teams to work effectively together. So I've been using Miro for the last 6 or 7 months. I used it to host all the workshops in the Productivity Algorithm live cohort course that I ran a few months ago, because I wanted the course to be very collaborative. So I'm not just talking at my students, but instead they can kind of add their own creative ideas to the board and build on my ideas with the help of sticky notes, images, mind maps, drawing capabilities, that kind of thing. So Miro has some really kind of useful templates to get you started. So I really do recommend you check them out if you have any team collaboration projects and need just a big online whiteboard. It's completely free. And if you do want to follow along and create your own life plan for 2023, I've added this exact template I'm using to the description. Click on the link and you can use Miro completely for free. So let's jump into Miro. This is my completed plan to make 2023 an amazing year. The first stage is to brainstorm your 4 pillars: health, wealth, people, and happiness. Now, to me, these are the foundational components to living a phenomenal life. And so I've just essentially carried out a brain dump and written down on sticky notes what is important to me. So in the health pillar, I've written down my diet, particularly reducing sugar and carbs, going to the gym, boxing, 8 hours of sleep. Now this one is huge. Also prioritizing downtime, like finishing work early sometimes and just kind of chilling out and switching off, because learning to switch off at the end of the day is something that I really need to work on. I've also scored my health pillar too in terms of how well I think I'm doing in each pillar. And this is useful for giving an actual kind of quantitative metric and kind of encouraging you to self-assess how you're performing. So for my health pillar, I'm doing okay, but it could be improved by quite a bit. So I'll give myself a 6.5 there. And for my wealth pillar, I've put delegate the tasks that I don't enjoy doing and delegate the tasks that can be easily replicated. Hire a personal assistant. I really need to get on that and have someone, preferably this month. Work less but more efficiently. Also links in with delegating tasks, right? Then the people pillar, I want to attend more higher level networking events, implement the 1% rule into the relationships of my life, guesting in more podcasts. So if you have a podcast or know someone that does, then shout out, let me know. And in the happiness pillar, I seriously need to work less. I mean, taking more kind of short breaks, weekends away, traveling to other countries, even just for 1 or 2 days, just learning how to switch off from work. The second part of planning your year is the actionable step stage. And this is where you actually choose areas in your life that you're going to improve on. But you should be very strategic about this, meaning what are the things in your life that will move the needle more than anything else? And you choose your top 3 and you write them down. I like the idea of having 1 pillar in beast mode and the other 3 pillars in maintenance mode. It's really difficult to be going all out with all 4 pillars all of the time forever, right? Realistically, that's just not going to happen. So I like the idea of just going all out with one pillar for a short, kind of predetermined period of time. It's what we do in business. For example, if I have a business idea, I might go all out for, let's say, 3 months, throw all my resources at it, all my time, to give that business project its best chance of survival. And this is kind of a similar thing where you go all out with one pillar to really make massive progress. And for me currently, my wealth pillar is definitely the pillar in beast mode right now. I co-founded a new company just a few months ago. We build YouTube channels for businesses, so I'm spending a lot of my resources in my wealth pillar right now. However, at the same time, I'm still taking care of the other 3 pillars, health, people, and happiness, since they're in maintenance mode, meaning I'm still going to the gym, I'm still taking care of the relationships around me, I'm still kind of maintaining everything. It's just that most of my resources, for a short time, are going to my wealth pillar. And a quick disclaimer, never neglect any pillar completely. Maintenance mode means you should be incrementally growing that pillar, albeit with far less time, energy, and resources than the pillar in beast mode. So the 3 things I'm working on in my wealth pillar currently is the rebranding of Product Elon, hiring a personal assistant, and focusing more on the marketing and PR side of my business as opposed to being stuck in operations. Now, moving on to step 3. Step 3 is by far the most important stage. This is where for each of the 4 pillars, you choose one habit for each pillar that if you do that habit consistently will have the biggest positive effect on your life. So by the end of this stage, you'll have 4 very strategic daily habits written down. For me, it's going to the gym 4 times a week for the health pillar, consuming 2 hours of podcasts a day, or actually this can be any form of self-education. It can be reading, audiobooks, documentaries, that kind of thing, as long as it's for 2 hours a day. And interesting story, this was my first ever proper habit back in 2013, and it is to this day the most life-changing habit I've ever implemented. Set a habit of consuming 2 hours of educational content a day in a field that you want to become an expert in and watch your life change. Seriously. Back to the people pillar, I aim to guest on at least 2 podcasts a week to learn from and network with more people. And for the happiness pillar, every night I spend 15 minutes reviewing my day, in particular where I spent my time, whether I spent most of my time on tasks that give me energy or tasks that drain my energy. And we have a very simple habit tracker. If I completed the habit that day, then I mark it green. If it's a rest day, for example, I only have to be a guest on 2 podcasts a week. Then the other days I will color in yellow. If I fail to complete that habit, then I will color the circle in red. And that's motivation in of itself, because I don't want to have any red circles on my habit tracker. So these 4 daily habits, if I do them consistently, will move the needle more than anything else. The idea here is not to have like dozens or hundreds of daily habits, because if you have, let's say, 20 daily habits that you have to complete every day, in the long term, that's probably not very sustainable. But instead, we're focusing on quality rather than quantity. And if you want to build your own study plan, you can go to Miro.com and try it out for free. I really recommend you do. I've been using Miro for the last 6 months or so after being recommended it by a friend. And it's been amazing for kind of brainstorming ideas, team collaborations, planning my life, just how I showed you. I've also added a link in the description to this exact Miro template so you can get started straight away. Again, link in the description. And I talked a bit earlier about my favorite habit, the king of habits, the one habit that rules them all, listening to podcasts for 2 hours a day. I made a video recently on why podcasts are the ultimate productivity hack. You can click on the card on the screen to watch that. Alternatively, I made another video on how I woke up at 4:45 a.m. for 906 days. You can also click on the card on the screen to watch that.